Prime-time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Happy Hump Day, everyone. We're halfway through the week, heading into what should be a nice, long Thanksgiving weekend, especially with the weather dropping. Abby St. John joining me, Josh Ryan, for another evening of news, weather, sports, and much more. And you have Beyond the Classroom coming up today, so that's always exciting. Mentorship is the focus.
Yes, a program at Lloyd Comp just to help better connect non-Indigenous and Indigenous students together, and just to learn more about the culture that they may not know through a textbook.
Awesome. I'm sure there's plenty that both sides can certainly learn. We'll find about that later this evening. First, though, let's go out to Eric Bay, who was on location earlier.
Thanks, guys. Today we have come down to the Lloydminster Community Youth Center, and today we are taking a look at the carnival they are holding here this afternoon, and as well we're going to take a look at some of the different programs that they do have offered here and going on throughout the next couple of weeks. Some very important stuff they are doing with kids around here, and as well some of the different hot food items available as well for some lunches for those who maybe need a little bit of help, and some food as well for those growing kids. So we're going to have some more from here throughout the show, but before that we're going to head back into the studio.
With the election less than 2 weeks away, advanced polling is set to start this Friday across Canada. Advanced polling in the border city is taking place at the Legacy Centre. This election, the advanced polling hours are longer, going from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, so 11th to 14th of October inclusively. As to the where, well, it all depends where you live, so different postal codes will take you different places, but it could happen that your neighbor across the street is voting somewhere else, because we have, delimited so that we don't have too many people going to the same polls.
For those who haven't received their voter card yet, there is still time for you to go register to vote.
You can still go to find out where you're supposed to go and vote, and go there and check to see if you're registered. And if you're not, you can register on site and then vote.
If you recently moved or changed your riding, you still have time to register in your new riding before you vote.
You can do it at any Elections Canada office online, or by calling in your Election Canada office and providing the proof of address and ID. You can do that until October 15th at 5 o'clock. If you don't do it before then, you can still do it on Elections Day. There will be people there to register you.
For more information on the candidates in your riding and advanced polling locations, visit elections.ca and type in your postal code to get all the information. City Council officially approved the plans for 4 new signs on Lloydminster outskirts as part of the entrance signage project. Just over $200,000 is the cost for the capital project, originally budgeted for $250,000. There were some disagreements about the cost of the project over the past month before a majority vote passed on Monday.
There was quite a discussion in council regarding the pluses and the minuses, or the positives and the negatives of, at this time, moving forward with a sign project. There's still some design work to be done to complete them, but basically it came to a vote and it was carried at council.
One addition to the signage is that they will be solar powered.
Because they may be outside the service area of the city, from that perspective that we want to be energy efficient but also self-sufficient, and I think that allows for that to happen.
Installation will likely take place in late December. The Lloydminster Olive Tree is starting to prep for their 6th annual Thanksgiving dinner. This Thanksgiving dinner feeds around 250 people a year. Most donations for food have been provided by grocery stores, but they still need some help with minor donations.
This year has been amazing for donations. Our grocers have really kind of stepped up and helped support the meal, from providing different meat to salads to desserts to all the fixings for it. We are short a few little items, just little fixing like pickles and butter and things like that we need to kind of complete the whole meal.
New to the dinner this year, the Olive Tree is adding transportation. This gives people and families another opportunity to make it out to a great meal.
We are offering transportation this year, so it's just a little added thing that we're trying to do to enable people in order to come. Lots of people don't have that family or the relationships with those people that can kind of get together for a Thanksgiving meal, so we want to bring everybody together.
The dinner is on Monday with 2 different times, 4:30 to 5:30 and 6 to 7. Teaching, learning, and understanding is what a group of Lloyd Comp students are doing through a mentorship program. In this week's Beyond the Classroom, we take a look at the Small Fires Mentorship Group. The Small Fires Mentorship Program is a way for students in elementary and middle school grades to better understand the Indigenous culture.
It kind of connects the non-Indigenous students to the Indigenous students because it brings a different level of understanding to each other, but it also helps the Indigenous students connect back with their culture as it's kind of been lost through the years.
The mentors in the program will go to other schools within LPSD, but at times students will go to Lloyd Comp to do different activities.
We've watched videos with them in the past. We do vision boards. We teach them about healthy relationships and all those other kinds of things that kind of help them with growing up, I guess.
For Indigenous students, this program helps them better connect with their culture.
Not many people know about the Cree culture because of the residential schools and how they lost their language and they forgot their teachings and their way of life. So it's amazing that we can do all this stuff now.
The feeling of belonging is another important part of the program.
I think that the Indigenous kids at times feel quite disconnected when they come into the urban settings. A lot of them are from faraway communities, so it's hard to connect, to build relationships. So that's why we created the program, to help build a sense of belonging, build relationships so that they can see the value in their education.
Getting non-Indigenous students involved in the program gives them the chance to learn about the rich history of Indigenous culture that isn't found in a textbook.
When the non-Indigenous students come and experience some of the beautiful aspects of our culture, it makes a big difference. They appreciate it, they value what they didn't know, and they want to learn more. So, building the relationships together, building bridges between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people is a big thing for us to advance reconciliation.
That's it for this week's Beyond the Classroom. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Back here once again at the Lloydminster Community Youth Center, and today we are taking a look at their carnival they are holding here today, and Michaeline Hewer joins me now. So first off, can you give us a little background on the carnival and what you have going on here today?
Well, the carnival's been going on for several years at the youth center. It's kind of an annual tradition they have. And last year we got a grant from the Prevention Institute, so we kind of did a new twist on it, and we invited some presenters in. So it's a bit of a mixture between some games and some food and treats for the kids and competitions. You notice Axe Rising is just setting up over there, and the presenters that we have here. So we have Kendall is from Inclusion, Alberta, and she's setting up, and Leslie is from the Interval Home, and we're part of the Interval Home Society. We have the Saskatchewan Prevention Institute setting up. We have the Lloydminster and Area Sexual Assault and Information Center setting up. They're going to be doing some face painting. Alberta Health is doing a booth, and then we'll have a booth of our own as well. And I'm not sure if I missed anybody or not. Benita is coming from the Saskatchewan Health Authority. So lots of information for the kids. They all have some freebies and some games and basically some good harm reduction type of information.
Very good to have for sure. Thank you for this. And we're going to have some more from back here again, continuing with the LCYC. But before that, we're going to head back into the studio.
Thank you very much. eBay, 0 degrees, a little bit of sunlight, so that's a good sign considering how cloudy it's been, and it will get a little sunnier as we go along over the next couple of days, but still not the temperature most people want to see. This should be a new normal over the course of October, though we do have a slight warm-up expected in this coming week. 25 degrees in 1984 is your record high, while -10, is the record in 2009. Northwest winds of around 12 kilometers. That could slightly calm down, but that should be the normal for the next couple of days as well. Satellite and radar showing some light cloud cover coming through the area, bringing with it a slight percentage of some precipitation coming down, but that wasn't the case through most regions here. Lloydminster also relatively unscathed for the most part. North Battleford as well, relatively unscathed. A few current temperatures throughout the region, +1 in Cold Lake, while Meadow Lake is also down to 0 degrees. North Battleford a +1 with plenty of cloud cover, so it's nice and cool there. Provost to Isle Cross, both at 1 degree. Same with Murnum. Edmonton a little warmer at 2 degrees, and Saskatoon 3 degrees, but a couple of flakes of snow have been falling in that city. Your school day forecast, -7 by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Recess should warm up significantly to -3, then +1 by lunchtime, and a couple degrees warmer by the time everyone leaves class. 4 degrees when school is out. And your 3-day forecast, +4 and a low of -8 is what you should expect tomorrow. And again, relatively skies is on the horizon for Thursday. Southwest winds will shift to the southeast over the next couple of days, and it'll vary between 9 to 15 kilometers per hour of wind speeds. 7 degrees on Friday with a low of -7, and it does warm up to 8 degrees on Saturday, but a low of -6. And those winds will certainly bring in with it a fairly chilly wind chill indeed. 12 degrees, your average high, so we're nowhere near that. Your 3-day forecast is over, but your 7-day forecast is coming around the corner later on Primetime Local News.
Welcome back. Well, slow harvest could be a mental health concern for some Alberta farmers. The end of September snow in parts of Alberta threw a wrench into what was an already stressful harvest season. With more rain and snow in the forecast for much of the province this week, it's bad news for farmers who rely on quality crops for income. Lyle Jensen, who farms land near Nobleford, Alberta, says farmers have been spending long hours in the combine to try to beat the next snowfall, and some are feeling the pressure. Dr. Robbie Babbins-Wagner with the Calgary Counseling Center says recognizing symptoms of anxiety and depression is important for farmers who are under stress. And now we're going to take a look at your egg prices.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
The soccer season is close to wrapping up. Both Rustlers teams hosted Grand Prairie and took one step closer to the final goal. Our Evan Kenny reports.
Both soccer teams played at home this weekend versus the Grand Prairie Regional College Wolves. For the teams, these were must-win games.
Oh man, yeah. You need to win out. You need to win out. You have 4 games left. If you win all 4, you'll make it, but you need to win out. Believe, it's just a game, right? That's the beauty about playing these games. Anybody can win. Anybody can win. So I think, you got to believe and you got to work for it and strive to be there in the end.
Playoffs are only 4 games away for both teams, and currently the Rustlers are on the outside looking in. The top 3 teams from each division head to the playoff tournament, hosted this year by Nate. As it stands, the men are only 3 wins off of third-place Concordia Thunder. On the women's side, King's University of Edmonton has 2 wins over the Rustlers.
It'd be honestly so cool. We haven't made it throughout the whole years of playing soccer at Lakeland, so I feel it's a second year. It's my last year because I'm transferring out, but I feel as a second year it'd be just amazing experience.
It'd be huge. For me, I'm a 4th year. I made it my first year, but since then we haven't made it. So it'd be nice to get there again, and for a lot of the new guys, it'd be a big stepping stone to see some success.
Men's head coach Kevin Wagner has been preaching getting to this point all season long.
If you're 0-4, you're not making playoffs, and that's 2 weeks into the school year. So every game with the limited schedule that we have, they're really meaningful games. So there's kind of pressure on each of them.
Both Rustlers teams will play Concordia, Nate, and Keano College twice for the remaining games. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here at the Lloydminster Community Youth Center, and today we have been taking a look at the carnival they are holding here today, one of many that they have done in the past, and Michaeline Hewer joins me once again. And now you mentioned the few changes you guys have made here this year, so can you talk about some of those format changes?
Today is early release day, so currently we have our youth programmer out picking up the kids at the middle schools and the high schools in Lloydminster, which is a program that we offer Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So the carnival traditionally had been held on Saturday, so we've now changed it to the early release Wednesday, just to get the kids here a bit earlier in the day and allow them some transportation here. And then at night also on the days that we're open to the youth, which is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we're open Saturday as well, but we don't pick up Saturday. We offer a Safe Rides Home at night. So when we wrap up here tonight, our youth program will be back and take the kids right to their front door at night so they get home safely.
Very good for sure. Now we mentioned you guys talked into all the people setting up here behind us and about the information that kids are able to get here today. So can you talk about some of that information, the importance of giving these kids this information here?
Sure. All of the presenters here today or the people that are setting up informational booths are our partners. Like, we work with them on a regular basis. So we have a lot of activities that happen here through the day and through the week, and different groups of youth that come in and work with some of the partners that you see here today. And getting that information out to them is really important. It's all to do with harm reduction and keeping our kids safe and engaged in our community.
Definitely very important for sure. Thank you once again for doing this, and we are going to have some more from back here again at the Lloydminster Community Youth Center. But before we do get to that, we're going to head back into the studio.
Thank you very much, eBay. Let's take a look at our next 48 hours. Not the wind chill just yet. Let's start with the cloud cover and development of storms over the next 24 hours. As you can see, not a lot of cloud cover expected. Most of the low pressure system has made its way now. It's out into Ontario and moving alongside to the east coast. Relatively clear right across the prairies and into BC. There may be more development in about 4 or 5 days, but we'll keep you updated on that as the weekend goes along. Wind chill, though, still something to think about, as those wind speeds will make the wind chill feel in the range of -6 or -7. So if the degree of temperature is around 4 degrees, it still feels like a minus day, vice versa as you go along up or down on that temperature. Next up here is a look at the current temperatures across both Alberta and Saskatchewan, some of the major areas. So 2 in Edmonton, -2 in Red Deer, and 2 out in Jasper. No one really above 2 degrees other than Saskatoon earlier this afternoon. They're sitting at 2 degrees right now, as is in Melfort. Prince Albert, one of the other few. That's a slight error. They're cooling down to 2 hours as well, and Meadow Lake sitting at 0 degrees. Looking a little closer into the region, you can see Vegreville also at 0, -1 in St. Paul, +1 in Bonnyville, Lac La Biche 2 degrees, Wainwright 0 degrees, a little bit warmer down in Provost, cooler in Macklin just across the border, then +1 in Green Lake, Meadow Lake and St. Walbert both at 0 degrees, and that is the same out in Maidstone as well. North Battleford was around 2 or 3 degrees earlier. They've cooled right down now to +1, and that should be the case through most of these regions. They'll cool down at least a degree or 2 over the next 2 to 3 hours, and then maybe a drastic drop-off after that. So +1 in North Battleford, and then it's going to be a little cold overnight, -9, and again 7-kilometer winds, so not a crazy amount of wind chill, but enough that it'll still feel like it's in double-digit negative temperatures. +5 tomorrow. Fair amount of sunlight expected, and the wind might pick up a little bit, but we're not expecting to see 15 to 20-kilometer gusts in the afternoon. Cold Lake +1 with a low of -7 overnight and some cloud cover. Wind shifting to the southwest and should calm down from what it's at right now at about 13-kilometer wind speeds. Also expecting a high of +5 in that area. 0 in the border city, a low of -8, though it is a clear sky. And then southwest winds tomorrow with a high of 4 and relatively sunny skies. 7 degrees on Friday and 8 on Saturday. Then we have some more cloud cover coming back. 6 degrees on Sunday for Monday. Warming back up to 5 on Tuesday, but heavy overcast skies and a strong chance of some precipitation, definitely some snowfall there on Wednesday. 74% chance at the moment. 6 degrees the high, and several cool nights expected, though it does warm up a little bit closer to the average by the end of the week. That's your 7-day forecast. Question of the day and more coming up after the break.
Back here now at the Lloydminster Community Youth Centre, and today we have been taking a look at some of the different programs that they do have going on around here, and Michaeline Hewer joins me here once again. Now, one of the other things you do have is some hot meals available as well, some food, very important. So can you tell us about that program?
Sure. We have a hot meals program, and we serve supper at 5 o'clock on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights and Friday nights, and then Saturday is a little more informal. We're not open till 6 on Saturdays, so we don't really have a formal meal that day, but always lots to eat if kids are hungry, which the kids are hungry. So we have that program. We have a part-time support that comes and does the meals for the kids, and a lot of volunteer help here too. You'll see some of the volunteers around today.
And you mentioned that volunteer help, as this is a not-for-profit organization here. So can you talk about volunteers and how fundraising also is very important for you guys?
We're nonprofit. We're 100% of our operating costs are generated through fundraising and grants. We don't get any government support for this program here, so we do rely on the generosity of the community, and they're very generous. A lot of what you see here in the background has been donated. We have donations, just random Good Samaritans dropping off things like the pop that you see back there. And we have volunteers who come on a regular basis. Sobeys donates bread to us, and they also donate a weekly fruit contribution to our program. So after school, when the kids arrive, we always have a healthy snack for them.
That's good to hear. Now, just really quick, you can see on the banner in front of us, Loving My Lungs, another program you have going on. So just really quick, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Loving My Lungs is a program that we're using. It's a campaign we're currently developing, and it's tobacco reduction, vape reduction, just trying to get some information from the youth on reasons that they vape, they smoke, and trying to generate some ideas of how they could reduce their usage. So we'll be shooting a public service announcement here next week, which is really exciting for the kids. We're going to have a lot of actors, and they're excited about that. And that's the campaign that you see there on the front.
All right, thank you once again for this, and we are going to have some more from back here again, but before that, we're going to head back into the studio.
And our question of the day, going global today, but it's a topic that's really made its way through every orifice of the social sphere in Canada and in the U.S. So the United States, particularly known for NBA basketball. That's become sort of the big sports league across the world. And for those who don't know, a GM named Daryl Morey of the Houston Rockets tweeted in support of the Hong Kong protesters. That has since resulted in a breaking down of the NBA's relationship with the Chinese government. And our question of the day, is the Chinese government's reaction to this a wake-up call to the rest of the world? One commenter believes that's the case, and we're starting to see more people interacting that way, kind of commenting online, certainly.
I think so too, because he simply just retweeted, he didn't even say anything, he just retweeted a picture showing support for the Hong Kong protesters. And so them drastically pulling NBA screening in China, I think definitely shows the rest of the world that this is, kind of sketchy a little bit.
Yeah, it shows certainly their propensity for censorship, and as well as the kind of tenuous relationship companies have with them because they make so much money.
And I think we're really starting to see that, in other aspects as well.
Yeah, and we'll keep an eye on this, of course. I think there will be more stories to come on every national outlet moving forward. We'll, of course, have some more pets to enjoy here really quickly, so let's blast through them. Juliet to start.
Gorgeous dog with a happy little smile. Very cute.
Mr. Brown is up next.
Love the name and clearly loves outdoors. Super adorable.
Smokey the cat.
Gorgeous cat with the nice green eyes. Super cute.
Ted, Peanut, and Butter barely fitting into a picture together.
But an adorable trio nonetheless.
And we'll end it with a name I'm sure you enjoy.
Yes, super adorable. Just a gorgeous looking girl. Just so cute.
Remember, you need the name and the pic to have a shot at a free gift card.
We want to see your pet. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Here in Primetime Local News Studio, I have with me new goaltender Josh Diaz, member of the Lloydminster Bobcats, came over early in the season from Fort Mac, and it sounds like you've been making yourself at home right away.
Yeah, for sure. Got traded, made my way down to St. Albert. They picked me up on the way to Grand Prairie, then played the next day, so quick turnaround, but it was good.
Yeah, it's definition of what the hockey world is, where you're traded one day and you have to make new friends, make a new life, and get away from everything you're used to.
Yeah, helped too that I had 3 of my buddies from last year in Fort Mac on this team, so it made it easier transitioning, so it's good.
Yeah, talk about that in fact, because obviously sometimes you might see a teammate you had before, you might see a guy you knew from somewhere in hockey, but it's not that often where 3 former teammates who you played with for basically a year are all there with the team this year too.
Yeah, it's good because they're all really good guys, and I gelled with them pretty good back in Fort Mac, so it was good, and they make it really easy for me to turn around here and get used to everything.
Yeah, what's some of the things that they kind of help with? Is it just like getting used to the form of practice, the repetition of the day, or showing you around town, things like that?
Yeah, like basically all those. Like, it's all different. Like every team's different. Like going to the rink, like for practice, and like what you have to do before practice and after practice, and just getting around town and stuff like that. And they've helped me for sure. And same with my roommate Brayden Berthold. So they've all done a good job. So I'm settled in now, and I'm happy. So it's good.
Yeah. And it's also, of course, a different community. Fort Mac, much bigger community, very oil-heavy town. It is pretty oil-heavy town here in this area too. But have you noticed much of a difference in terms of the dynamic of the city, or not really?
I think Fort Mac, there's downtown, and then there's kind of uptown where everyone lives. So a little bit different like that. But Lloyd, I think it's all kind of, I don't know, I haven't been here for that long, but I think it's all pretty close together, which is good too, so you can get places easier and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And so focusing on the ice, obviously you went right into the fire against Grand Prairie. Yeah. You guys had a competitive series there. Was that good, or was that challenging? Or was that maybe a good thing that as soon as you were in between the pipes, it was, right to the grindstone, right in the middle of a really competitive series, and you have to learn to adapt and be with the guys right away?
I think it was good for me playing right away. I wanted to play right away because I wanted to show that to coach and the boys that I can play, and I wanted to try my hardest, and I played 2 pretty good games, and I just wanted to show the boys that I have their back, so I just wanted to play my best, and I did, so it was good.
And you definitely did, obviously, a number of saves in both those games against Grand Prairie, then the first win of the season against Olds. What's been the team like over the last couple of days or so? Obviously a tough loss recently against Bonnyville, but there's some progress being made in terms of the chemistry side of it?
Yeah, we're getting better every day at practice, and we're just trusting the process with Nigel, and we're getting better every day, and we're going to start winning a lot more games down the road, so I'm excited.
Is there anything individually you're kind of focusing heading into the next couple of weeks, that whether it's a specific skill side of your game, or if it's maybe communication, things like that with the guys?
I'm going to watch a lot of video. I watch a lot of video on Hockey TV, and I watch the games the teams that we're going to be playing, and I watch kind of like their power play and stuff like that. So I'm a big video guy, so I like doing that to kind of get prepared for the games for whenever they're coming and shooting on me kind of thing. So I get prepared in that sense, but yeah, practice too. I need to work my butt off and kind of just show Nigel that I'm ready to play every single day and get ready. But yeah, I'm ready to go this weekend, so I'm excited.
For sure. And that's definitely something that will be the case with you guys, as Nigel, making you work your butts off.
Hey, it's Justin Marshall from Hot 101.3, brand new radio station in the Lakeland, and Boom 95.3. And here's what's happening around the Lakeland. Coming up on Saturday, the legendary Valdi, Juno Award winner, coming to the Bonnyville Centennial Center. Starts at 7:30, and Sue C2 joins me now. Sue Wojcik from the Centennial Center. Give me all the hot and juicy details.
All right. So if you are interested in coming to see Valdi, an intimate evening with Valdi on Saturday, we do have tickets on sale now. We got general admission tickets that start at $25 plus tax and fees. You can't go wrong on that one. We also have reserved seating that includes supper before the show. Those tickets are available only until Wednesday at closing time. They're $45 plus tax and fees. So it's a really affordable evening out to see a fantastic performer.
Facebook.com/boom953. All the details there. The presenting sponsor. Funny story for you, eh?
Okay, let's hear it.
Lots of people have been messaging me saying, where can I get Valdi tickets? Where can I get Valdi tickets? Why does everybody love Valdi?
Well, he has been on the scene for decades, and he is an iconic singer-songwriter, originally from Ontario. So he's one of us. He's a Canadian. He's a Juno Award winner. He's been awarded the Order of Canada. He has 14 albums, great hits. You don't want to miss it.
Sue, you're really passionate about Valdi. I love it.
I am indeed.
Thanks for joining me.
Thanks.
And if you have an event you would like to feature on What's Happening, shoot me an email, jmarshall@stingray.com.
Back in studio with Josh Diaz, new goaltender for the Lloydminster Bobcats. We didn't get to talk a little bit about your philosophy on goaltending. So what's been sort of the inspiration to be a goaltender? Did you model yourself after any particular goaltender, or is it just you like being fearless and throwing yourself in front of pucks like a crazy person?
I think it all started back in Adam hockey for me. I was a player, and I was pretty bad. So
okay.
I remember one time there was this goalie, and he didn't make it to the game, so everyone was asking, like, oh, does anyone go in net? And I was like, I'll go in net, like, for sure, why not? Try it out. I think we won like 13-11 or something like that. Still have like the picture of like my first day. It was pretty cool. Pads are on backwards and like player helmet and all that. But I like the Canucks. I'm from Surrey, so in Vancouver, so Luongo was a big idol for me growing up, and it was tough to see him retire this year. So, but I think just growing up watching him play, and then Carey Price and watching him play, he's so smooth, and I like to model my game after him. And I'm starting to like Sergei Bobrovsky a lot too, because he's just battles, and I like to battle too. Being a smaller guy, a lot of goalies are like 6 feet and taller. I'm only like 5'11", so I got to battle every single shot for my rebounds and stuff. So I like watching Bobrovsky play because of that. But other than that, yeah.
And does that require a different set of skills than if you're modeling yourself after Carey Price? Obviously, a lot of it is just sort of the basic. Be really technically proficient to make everything look easy. But as a smaller goaltender, you have to be a little more dynamic sometimes with your movements. What's that like when you practice and not just regular practice, but also if you're doing sort of more workshopping on your game?
Yeah, when I practice, I try to be as technical as possible and kind of like working hard. I'm working hard, but I'm practicing on my technical game in practice to try to be more calm. So when it comes to games, that I'm more calm and more technical. But yeah, it's not like I'm working so hard in practice that I'm getting like all over the place and flying all over on my belly and stuff like that. I'm trying to be technical, and if a puck goes in, then it's fine. Then you just got to work for the next shot and just prepare better and yeah. So.
Is that the thing you pride yourself most on? Is sort of your technical skill, or is it the battling?
I think I'm an athletic goaltender, and I've been trying to work on my technical game for the last couple of years, which really helps my goalie coach back home. But yeah, I think I like to battle like in front of the net, like just in tight and stuff. I like to battle, so I think that's kind of how I'm like athletic, like I battle in front of the net and stuff like that. But I'm working on my technical game, yeah.
And would you say Carey Price? You were saying you kind of modeled yourself after him a little bit.
Yeah.
Is he the class of the NHL for you still, or is there another guy you really like?
I'm liking Sergei Bobrovsky so far, and Carey Price. Yeah, I don't know. I like watching a couple other guys play, like Andrei Vasilevsky and stuff like that. But he's a completely different goaltender, I think, compared to Bobrovsky and Carey Price.
For sure. And you said, obviously, you're from Vancouver area,
Yeah.
so bit of a Canucks fan.
Yeah.
They recently lost their home opener. How do you feel about the team sort of heading into this season?
There's a lot of skill, a lot of young guys. It's going to be excited to watch them play within the next couple of years. They got just so much talent. It's going to be so fun to watch, but they're such a young team, and I feel like I don't know if they'll make playoffs this year. I don't want them to, so they can get another draft pick.
Okay.
But after that, then I think they'll be pretty good within the next couple of years for sure.
You've been influenced by the Tankapalooza culture of the last couple of years, I think.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's worked for the 76ers, and it's worked for teams in other sports as well. So only, I guess, problem for you guys is you still have Markstrom as your starting goaltender.
Yeah. Hopefully Demko can develop for the next couple of years and become a starter. That'd be pretty cool to watch him play.
Yeah, might see that over the next couple of months. Thanks for doing this, Josh, and good luck in your next couple of games here.
Thank you.